My name is Wyatt Head. I'm with DallasMovieScreenings.com, and I'm on the phone with director Roger Ross Williams. He directed a film called Life Animated that is about an autistic man who, with his family, determines his independence in the world. It interchanges with his story of his childhood and how the family really fought for his sake, for the betterment of his life. And here we go. I've got some questions here. So, what made you decide to document this subject, and how did you find the Suskinds?
So this is a book by Ron Suskind, Owen's father, the best-selling book, and I've known Ron for 15 years, and when he was writing the book, he came to me and said, I think this makes a great documentary, and I totally agreed.
Right. That's great. That's a really good story. Had you ever researched autism before, and was there ever a personal experience with it?
No, I had no personal connection or experience with autism. I hadn't done any research about autism, so it was first. It was the first time I came to this, and for me it was a bit of a learning curve. I was a bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but I really learned so much through Owen's story and through his eyes, because Owen's world is so rich, so beautiful, and I learned that everyone with autism has something to offer society if we just stop and listen.
Absolutely, I agree with that. What was the preparation like for this film?
I pretty much, when Ron sent me the galleys to the book and said he was releasing this book, pretty quickly after that I decided that I was going to do the film, and I was shooting within weeks, so didn't have a lot of prep time. I just went right into it, and I remember when I met Ron and we talked about the book and that we were going to do a documentary. Within a few weeks later, it was Valentine's Day was my first shoot. It was the Valentine's Day dance at Owen's school, and I remember being taken by how much Owen and Emily were in love.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that is a really cute relationship in the film. Was Owen ever uncomfortable with being filmed, or were there any others who were timid about the filming?
No, Owen understands film, and he took, because Owen lives in the moment, and he lives in the land of the lost sidekicks, which is this world that he created, and he's really, sort of always, the sidekicks are always there to advise him, but because he lives in the moment, and he's in the land of the lost sidekicks, he pretty quickly forgot that the cameras were there. He's kind of like the perfect documentary subject. He completely ignores the camera.
Well, that's great. I'm sure that made it a lot easier. That's fantastic. So there were some scenes where Owen's father, Ron, gets emotional, as well as the mother. I guess this could be addressed to both of, or about both of them. Gets emotional, remembering what it was like when Owen was a small child. Were there any other times where scenes got very deep in emotions?
Yes, there were many times where the scenes were very deep and emotional. When Owen and Emily break up, Cornelia and the family are really distraught over it, including Owen, and it was a lot of tears. And one of my favorite scenes is the scene where Walt is sitting by the pier on his birthday, and he's talking, and he's very emotional, and he's talking about the responsibility he feels as a sibling. You don't hear from siblings of people living with autism, and it was, we've been screening at film festivals, and the family's been with me, and siblings always stand up and they thank Walt for, sort of representing them and speaking out for the way they feel as a sibling of someone with autism.
Right. That's fantastic. Was there anything that you cut out of the film that you really, really wanted to keep in?
Yes. The film used to end with this very stirring, emotional scene where we go to MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and Owen goes into an fMRI machine screen, and we actually show him Disney clips, and they actually scan. They're actually looking at his brain and what happens to his brain when he sees these sort of his favorite Disney classic animated clips.
Mm-hmm.
And Ron and Cornelia are literally seeing into their son's brain, so we literally go into his head for real. And it's a beautiful scene because Ron and Cornelia are so emotional, and the doctors and scientists are emotional because they realized something that they hadn't realized before, that the part of the brain of someone with autism, the part of the brain that shows empathy, they used to believe that autistic people lacked empathy, but that part lit up more, that he had more empathy than, and it was just this sort of beautiful emotional moment. But I took out all the science stuff in the film because I wanted it to be just a purely emotional coming of age story.
Right. That's really amazing how, because I've studied autism, I've studied, related, but it was actually taken out, I believe, the Asperger's syndrome. And, it is really incredible to know that you all filmed that and found that revelation of him, having a stored amount of empathy that's really amazing. How was the partnership found with the animator and the rest of the team? Because I thought the animation was beyond excellent. I thought it was incredible.
So I started looking at animation, and when I was looking for animators, and I really liked what the French were doing with 2D animation. I thought that the French did the best work with 2D animation, so I went to this company in Paris called McGuff. And McGuff, the head of McGuff, a guy named Philippe, really took this on. They're a big 3D animation company. They did Despicable Me and the Minions, and but this was a sort of a passion project for Philippe, the owner of the company, and he put together a team of young French animators who just were brilliant.
Right. Well, yeah, and I just, that's kind of wraps it up, and I just wanted to say that, your film, I watched it a second time. I saw it at the Dallas International Film Festival, and which, was an amazing time. I mean, very, very worthwhile. And then I just rewatched the screener, and I just thought I don't think it had ever been done before, how you document somebody somebody growing up and becoming an adult, and with ASD. It was excellent.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It was really important to me to tell the story from Owen's point of view and to get into his world and his mind and really have people experience Owen's beautiful world.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Williams, and I hope this film takes you a lot of places.
Let people know about the film. It opens in Dallas. Spread the word, please, and get people to the theaters.
Absolutely, I definitely will. I'll spread it out. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right,
okay.
bye.
Bye.